foolish mortals.
Hello there. Are you insane? Get out of here!
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Right, off you go.
Welcome to Average Joe Orlando. Hello, theme park goers. Welcome to another episode of Average Joe Orlando. Today we're going to do one of our not so average lists. Now, I've really enjoyed putting together different lists. I kind of, to go into my process, as if that was a thing, start writing out for the year what I want to do for different episodes and different ideas. Some of them come out great. Some of them you go, I don't think there's enough to talk about for a full episode. And this is definitely one that I jotted down a while ago for best theme park snacks and went, I don't think this can make a full episode. And then I kept writing them down and going, oh, this is a good one. Oh, this one's kind of overrated. Oh, this one was kind of weird. Oh, I missed these. Oh, I really want to try these. So it kind of turned into one of them of not just focusing on Disney and Universal, but also focusing on a little bit more and a little bit more out there and things that I found and things that I missed, and started going down memory lane of what the parks used to have. Now, granted, the parks used to have a lot of different things that I definitely miss. Not obviously just the Jaws ride, which I miss, or the Face Beers, if anybody remembers Face Beers, at Cigars. This was at City Walk over at Universal Orlando, up where the bread box is now. It was kind of this little like smoky cigar bar, but they had like dollar beers if you worked there back in the day, and they were the size of your face, so we just called them Face Beers. Missed those. But anyway, that's not on the list. But there is a lot of things on this list, so I figured we could jump in and start talking about them. And it's kind of interesting because Universal has really stepped their game up on, there's going to be a lot of Disney and a lot of Universal, and then we'll get into some other things too. However, Universal has really kind of changed their food in the past few years. They were never really known for their food, and now it seems like they've gone completely the other way, where not only are they getting known for their food, but they're doing a lot of Instagrammable food, and some things not always taste great. Some things look great. Some things look great in the photo, and then you get one and you're like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. I've noticed a lot of it's for like Mardi Gras and for Halloween Horror Nights. They really step up their game of what they've done. I remember in the past they did this brownie for, I think it was Jurassic World's 30th or Jurassic Park's 30th, I want to say, and they did the Ian Malcolm like brownie or cupcake where they have, you know, Jeff Goldblum laying there shirtless on top of one of their desserts. So they kind of get really fun with it. Some of it, as I mentioned, not the most practical or the most delicious, but I would say the most fun. So we'll get into some of those snacks now. I will start, though, on the list. I know I mentioned Universal. Let's start with Disney and talk about some of our favorite snacks over at Disney. And on the list, no particular order, I'm going to say the corn dog nuggets. Now, these are over at Casey's Corner. Back in my day, they used to have nacho cheese. And so if you really wanted to be really healthy, get a deep fried corn dog nugget and dip it in some nacho cheese and sit there and look at the castle. Those were the days. They did eventually get rid of the nacho cheese. I don't know if it was a cost thing or if people burned themselves. Either way, somebody ruined it for us. But the corn dog nuggets were really good. I did go to Tokyo Disney, and they have like I don't think it was called Casey's Corner, but they did like have like the hot dog corner on the end, and no corn dog nuggets there. So that was definitely a Disney World thing, but that would have to be one of my favorite snacks over at the Magic Kingdom that everybody really talks about a lot. Another one has to be, and Disney's known for this, it's their chicken fingers. So Disney, I used to have a ranking of all the best chicken fingers in the world, and it was always Disney Cruise Line, Disney World, and then always last on the list was Chili's. I always thought they were gross with their tempura batter. Get out of here. Nobody wants those. But Disney World and Disney Cruise Line, and I'm going to consider a snack. It's not a meal because you could just get one or two, especially on the cruise line. Chicken fingers. Disney chicken fingers just hit differently. Or as the kids say, they slap. They're pretty great. And they're known for them. And I think that's one of those things that like corn dog nuggets, you can't really think of another place where you really get corn dog nuggets all the time. Chicken fingers, you can get them anywhere, obviously. But for some reason, they're just better at Disney. And then Mickey bars. And this is a weird one because you look at it and you're like, it's just vanilla ice cream with a hard chocolate shell. How would this be anything special? But the Disney ones are good. What's not good is looking at the back of the calories on them or just how bad they are for you in general. Just don't do it. Have them when you're on vacation. And then don't buy them at the supermarket, because I know they are for sale at the supermarket. And I've heard, I never have bought them at the supermarket, but I have heard that they're not as good if you buy them from there. And nothing's ever as good when you're not on vacation. It seems like one of those things that when you're on vacation, it's great. And when you go home and you try it, you're like, that doesn't really add up. But Mickey bars are definitely one of those that I could definitely say, get them when you're at the parks, especially on a hot day. Just eat them fast. Eat the ears. Take your picture real quick. And go ahead with that. They are on the cruise line too, the Mickey bars, same exact ones. However, they're free. Well, free when you pay the enormous cruise fee, but free for room service. So you could actually get Mickey bars delivered to your room. I think it's like 24 hours a day, and just get Mickey bars delivered. Which, what else could you want for that? Or in the dining rooms, you can get them also. But to me, that was one of those hacks going on my first cruise. I was like, these are like $6 each. I'm gonna get as many as I want. But yeah, don't do that. That's a lot of calories. Ooh, okay, we're going to jump around. These are, like I said, no particular order. It was more of just I started jotting them down as I was going through like my head of, this one's good. Oh yeah, this one. Ooh, yeah, I missed this. And next one is over at Epcot. And in the Norway Pavilion is the school bread. The school bread is something that a friend introduced me to a while ago, and then I forgot about and was there with friends. And then I was like, oh, there's a bakery here. And so the bakery is small. A lot of people know the French bakery. I remember the French bakery. Wow, really dating myself again. When it was where the ice cream shop is now, and and that was like the small one. Now they made it into an ice cream shop. Now they pushed it in the back, and everybody knows about it. And what used to be a hidden gem is now gone, unfortunately. But the school bread is over in that Norway bakery. And the Norway bakery is behind, if you know where that little, I think it's like a church thing is there in the front. So if you look straight back, it's say Maelstrom. Frozen is straight back, and to the right is the the restaurant. To the left is the bakery. Now they have other things in there too. Everything in there is good. However, the school bread is like the soft bread with coconut on top and like a cream filling, like a kind of like a Boston cream donut kind of thing. But fresh bread, really good. They do have to-go boxes, I found out, and definitely was like, oh, let's get some for breakfast tomorrow. How many can fit in one? Oh, you can fit like 3 in there? Let's do that. So they will do that too. And if you could just ask for them to go at the end of the night at Epcot, if you're trying to do what I do, where you try to leave before the fireworks start, get some school bread to go and run out there with that. The school bread is pretty great and highly recommended. But as I mentioned, that's the bakery in Norway. The French bakery is still so good. You really can't get anything bad in there. Definitely been to France, came back from France, went over there and went, is it still good? Yeah, it's still good. Cheap bread, you can get like a thing of bread and just enjoy bread. But they have the hot ham and cheese sandwiches, and they'll warm everything up with you. All the pastries, everything inside that French bakery is great. If the line is out the door, that's a time to say maybe come back. But I would say if the line is inside, it does move really quickly. So it does split into 2. And that's one of the things where pick the right or the left side, and then no matter what you do, you'll pick the wrong side. But the French bakery back in the France Pavilion. Now that's, if you've been there, don't go towards like Ratatouille to the right. Head towards like the 3D show. Make a left around the corner. It's where the 3D, not 3D show, I guess it's just the 2D. There's like a Beauty and the Beast sing along during the day, and then it's like the old France video that they used to have there. On the like not as busy hours, I think at night they switch it over, which is cool. However, I did see it one time. I didn't want to see the Beauty and the Beast thing. I was like, oh, I want to see the France show. I've never seen it before. And I think there was a lot of kids there, and they were all like, oh, the Beauty and the Beast show. But they just switched it over. So they were really disappointed when they found out there was no Beauty and the Beast. It was just a like old video about France, which I enjoyed. So whatever. And I didn't want to see a sing along. Jumping around, I'm going to go with Pog Juice. Now, if you don't know what Pog Juice is, it's mainly known over at Animal Kingdom, and I believe they have it at Ohana's and definitely at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. And it's pomegranate, orange, and guava juice, but they call it Pog Juice. I first got introduced to it on the Wild Africa Trek. If you ever taken that, now the Wild Africa Trek is that tour that you take that goes over the top of Kilimanjaro safaris. And I remember they were like, hey, do you want to try some Pog Juice? And it's very sweet, but I remember they had it at Tusker House, and you can get it as like Pog Juice mimosas. I think they do it with rum there too. So it's kind of one of those things that you just kind of know about when you're at Disney, and everybody goes, get the Pog Juice. But another thing that's Disney is very known for, which you can find at other places I found recently, but it's differently at Disney, is the Dole Whips. So Dole Whip, they have them at the Magic Kingdom, and then they also have them at the Polynesian, and then they have Pineapple Whip. I don't think they call it Dole Whip over at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and they will actually do like a rum floater on top also. So the Dole Whip is the pineapple soft serve. I had recently over at Magic Kingdom, they did a coconut ice cream at the Dole Whip station, and it was like pineapple juice. I'm trying to remember what was in it. It was the coconut soft serve ice cream, pineapple juice with like a cake pop on top. It was gigantic, full of calories, and it was really good. I'm not big into pineapple, but I was big into this with the pineapple juice. So a Dole Whip's always good on a hot day, but it was one of those things that this was just something different, and really enjoyed that. So definitely one of those Disney treats. Another Disney treat, Baseline Tap House. So I know it's a location, you're like, well, this is supposed to be snacks. They have two things there that I think are great. They have the charcuterie board, which back in my day used to be like $9. Now I think it's like $11 or $12. Still pretty good. And the beard cheese with the pretzel. So great little snacks. Always recommend to everybody, if you're at Hollywood Studios, go to the Baseline Tap House and get the charcuterie. And then if you're really hungry, get the pretzel with the beer cheese. It's a great snack, and the cheese board's really good there, and not terribly priced either. Let's hop over to Disney Springs, and my favorite cookie, which is definitely not Gideon's. I'm not waiting an hour for a cookie, and it's not that good. Summer House. Sorry. Summer House has a cookie bar, and I went to this one because I saw it was open, was like, okay, no line. How good could these cookies be? They kind of look like Publix cookies. No, they are very good. I've had a few times where they were a little dry, where I was like, these were sitting there for a little longer. But 9 times out of 10, good, fresh cookie. A lot cheaper than Gideon's. A lot easier to get than Gideon's. You don't have to wait outside on a giant line or a virtual queue. Gideon's were good, but just much more heavy. These were just delicious, really good cookies. And less expensive too. So Summer House, go to the cookie bar, get a cookie at the Summer House. Let's hop back to DAC, Disney's Animal Kingdom, and the cheeseburger pods. Now the cheeseburger pods are over in Pandora at Satuli Canteen, and these, I remember the first time I had them, I was like, wow, these are crazy. But why would I order them when you have all this other good food? They kind of taste like a McDonald's hamburger, which sounds really weird and kind of gross, but trust me, they are so good. They also have great food just in general at Satuli. They have all the bowls where you can mix the grains and the vegetables and the sauces and the different proteins. So I'd find myself usually, like, if I'm with somebody else, be like, do you want to split the cheeseburger pods? I mean, you could have a pod on top of the bowl because you can't not get the cheeseburger pods, but also the food there is great in general. But the cheeseburger pods are great. People also rave about the cheeseburger egg rolls. However, Magic Kingdom seems to, I didn't put them on the list because they seem to be a little more unreliable. You don't know what kind they're going to have. The bridge right outside of Adventureland at Magic Kingdom, they have the egg roll cart. However, it seems to sometimes not be open, and when it is open, it has a huge line, and they always have different types. But if they have the cheeseburger egg rolls, those are amazing, and probably one of my favorites. And then last but not least for my Disney list, which people were like, already, the mini donuts at the water park. What are the water parks doing with donuts? So strange. But they have these fresh donuts that Typhoon and Blizzard both have. They're not in the parks. Can't find them anywhere else. Every time I go to the water parks, I go, oh yeah, they have fresh donuts here. But the fresh mini donuts over at the water parks, highly recommend. Definitely a must try. Well, as I mentioned, that's everything for Disney, but we're going to hop over to Universal. Universal, definitely, as I mentioned, recently is stepping up their food game, and the number one thing that comes to mind when you think of Universal snacks has to be butterbeer. Now, butterbeer comes in many forms nowadays. It used to just be hot. I mean, it used to just be iced or frozen. Like, cold or frozen was the original, and everybody's like, what's the difference? Cold was just like a cold drink. It was just a regular drink, and then there was the iced or the frozen, which the frozen was or still is like kind of like a slushy. And I remember vegans couldn't have it because it would only be made the same way every single time with the foam on top, and now they do a vegan foam. Then they started doing hot seasonally. Now they do hot all the time. Then they started doing butterbeer ice cream, which is the second one on my list, which is a vanilla ice cream with a butterbeer swirl. It's amazing. You could actually get it at the beer place next to the soft serve ice cream place over in Diagon Alley. There is hard ice cream, so you can get the packed ice cream at some of the stands. However, the soft serve is much better, and that's the one on this list, is definitely soft serve butterbeer ice cream. And they have it at the Florence, I don't remember the name, but I just can't pronounce it. They have it over at Diagon Alley, and then the beer location next to it, you could ask for the soft serve ice cream at any time too, and they'll give it to you in there in a cup. And butterbeer in general. Butterbeer ice cream, butterbeer everything. I saw they came out with the butterbeer barrels, which are like chocolate barrels with butterbeer in it. I think they have the fudge. They also have the butterbeer ice lollies, as they call them. And everywhere you go, there's butterbeer. I will say butterbeer was one of those things that was kind of exclusive. You could only get it at Universal parks, and then all of a sudden it kind of started expanding. You get it at the Warner Brothers tour or in London. When I was at Universal in Japan, they only had cold. They didn't have frozen butterbeer or any other ones. But I thought that was really interesting. They only had the one kind of butterbeer. But yeah, butterbeer, anything, bring it on. Also in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, they have a ton of different drinks. And got to try a bunch of the different ones. Some of them are weird. They have like the fishy green ale with the boba balls. They have Gilly water, which I was all excited to try. And then I realized it was just a bottle of overpriced water. They have the different ones you put flavors in them, but I've tried them all, and I will definitely say the lemon squash drink is definitely on my list as one of them to get. I've always gotten it. I don't know if they have anywhere else in Diagon Alley, and it's like a lemon drink. Think of like a fair like lemonade where they actually put a lemon in it. So not super tart, but just really good, really refreshing, non-alcoholic lemon squash drink. Get it. You're gonna want it. Another one on my list has to be the special event seasons, the Twisted Taters. Now, once again, back in my day, they used to be really cheap, and now they've gone up in price, but I will still pay every year to get a Twisted Tater. However, I always hope that they're going to be fresh and they're going to be crispy. If they are not fresh and you get a cold tater, not great. If you get one that's not cooked well and the people didn't have the oil all the way up or they didn't cook it right and it's soggy, you don't want that. You want a good, hot, crispy Twisted Tater, and they have all the different flavors for them too. I did see these at Efteling. They had Twisted Taters. They called them something different, but I was like, oh, Twisted Taters. But to me, that's a Halloween Horror Nights staple. Every year at Halloween Horror Nights, along with the Blinky Cup, you have to get the Twisted Taters. And as I mentioned, the light up cups. That's always one of those snacks that every year, kind of a snack souvenir that you have to get. Also, any of the special event food, like I said, they did the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. When they did the Last of Us house at Halloween Horror Nights, they did the ravioli, which came in the can, the ration can. You can keep the can afterwards. Some of those just really fun, more Instagrammable foods are always on the list. And more recently, too, they came out with the Shrek pretzel, or they're calling it the Shrexel, with the green cheese. And the only reason I'm not putting it on this list is because when I went to get it, I realized it was $12, and I was like, I was not going to pay $12 for a pretzel. As for miscellaneous parks, I thought about other ones that I've been to in Kennywood in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The French fries. They had these hand-cut French fries, and I remember going and being like, all right, I'm told to get the French fries. They were awesome. The only thing I remember is there was no bottles of water sold anywhere, and I had to get a soda, and I don't like soda, and I never drink soda, so I was like, this is weird. But it was good, and it was a great snack. So Kennywood, French fries, great theme park snack. And any theme park, most recently I remember being in Hershey Park last year, and those lemonades where they always sell them, you don't know how long they've probably been out for, and they always have like those big trays, kind of like at a theme park, and there's like a whole lemon in them, and you just hope that they wash the lemon, and you try not to think about it, but those lemonades that you get at a theme park or a fair, those are great, and those are a great snack. As for ones I want to try and are still on my list, the mac and cheese cup cone that they have at the How to Train Your Dragon Land looks very cool online. I don't know how I feel about having a hot thing of macaroni and cheese when it's 90 degrees at a theme park, but still gonna want to try that over at Epic Universe. And then over at Volcano Bay, the Waturi Swirl ice cream. That's like the very Instagrammable, rainbow-looking ice cream. Always has a long line, and people always rave about it. And Dollywood has that cinnamon bread. If I ever make it back to Dollywood for some reason, I need to get the cinnamon bread. Everybody raves about it. Now for the overrated. Sorry, and this is Halloween Horror Nights related, which is weird because I love Halloween Horror Nights. But the pizza tots, or the pizza fries, they always just come out soggy for me. They look cool. I remember getting them, and I remember just being like, I'm burning my mouth and everything under soggy. It's basically just cheese and sauce and sometimes pepperoni if you want them on fries or tots. I don't know. I think it's just because it makes it too soggy under there for you. And I want to like them because it has all the ingredients that you have to like. But overall, the pizza tots just didn't really hit for me. Things I miss the most, though, snack-wise, when I was going through, is back in the day, they had jalapeno cheese pretzels at all the Disney parks. I know you're thinking, no, they still have them. They have them somewhere. Forget where at Disney. I've seen the jalapeno cheese pretzels, and they are not the same ones they used to have. I remember Animal Kingdom had them especially, and they're always really spicy on the inside. A really good, like, melted cheese. And the old jalapeno cheese pretzels at Disney were great. As I said, I believe that they have them some places still at Disney, but they just aren't the same as they used to be. And I miss them. I miss the old jalapeno cheese pretzels. Please get those back. I also miss, and this is a really random one, animal poop candy. And over back in Harambe in Africa, in Animal Kingdom, they have the sweet shop, and they have all the different candies and everything in there, which are good. But when it first opened, they had different chocolates, and they were all themed after different animal poop. And they were actually biologically accurate too of which ones you get, of how they look. So it was gross, but it was also kind of fun. And apparently an executive came in and says, "This is gross, get rid of this." And I'm like, actually, that's really not gross. It's fun. We're at a theme park. Stop trying to be so serious. But it only lasted for a short time, and it was kind of this cool little gag they had, but it was also at the same time educational in a way, if you need to know what kind of animal poop looks like. But that's something I missed because I remember that being a really cool, kind of unique, different, kind of weird snack. And for me, the weirdest has to be something I saw, shark nuggets outside the Jaws ride at Universal Japan. Now, they were called shark nuggets. I don't know if they were actually shark. I assume they were because they also had chicken nuggets on the menu that were separate. So I thought maybe, they're just calling them shark nuggets because we're at a Jaws restaurant. And of course I had to eat at the Jaws restaurant because it's Jaws. Hello. It's the best ride ever. But they had shark nuggets on the menu. So ride the ride, see the shark, eat the shark, I guess. And that was one of the weirdest snacks I've ever seen because I was like, hey, I don't think I want to eat shark at a theme park or just in general. I like sharks. I like Jaws. But yeah, probably one of the weirdest. But anyway, as I said, I was able to put together a whole episode's worth of snacks because there are so many. And I'm sure there's more than I'm thinking of. And the next time I'm in the park, I'm going to be like, ooh, that one's good. And the cool thing is they keep changing them. They keep adding things. And they keep getting new things. Unfortunately, they are removing things. However, it seems like some of the favorites tend to stick around. And so hopefully a lot of these stick around too. Or come back. And with that, I will see you at the parks.
Thanks for taking a ride with Average Joe Orlando.
You made it! I knew you would.
Is everyone okay? Hope you still want to open an account.
Say cheese! See you later!
Thanks, everybody. You were brilliant.
At this time, gather up your personal belongings and take your small grubs by their grubby little hands as you exit. Thank you.